love sweet gun back it. Love just a time, don't you grab it.
Welcome to Lobster Magnet and Friends. I'm here with my buddy Captain Crunch on this really rainy day to talk about Promised Neverland, Chapter 83. So, this was a decent chapter. Not too much happened. We got to learn a little bit about the game, about how Lewis sat down with Lucas, and basically the terms of the game were that, like, he gave him 15 minutes or 10 minutes to prepare, and he told him how to kill him, and he even offered to take off his mask to make it a fair hunt. And obviously, Lucas doesn't win. He loses his arm, assumingly, in his fight with Lewis. Well, it's really funny in the terms of that, like, Rufio, like, Lewis even remembers Rufio's name, and then they block it out in the text. I don't know why they keep on, like, why they want to have, like, some big reveal of, like, what Rufio's name is. It just seems really silly. But then Pepe, Gillen, and Nigel, evacuate under a tree, and then Lord Bayon comes to the realization that, there are areas of his little hunting ground, that was originally meant for something very different that he didn't know about, as he cuts the tree down, and then he goes into the sewers, and he's basically surrounded by little children primates. So now they got him where they want him, and the question is, are they going to, like, shoot that mask off and finally finish off the deed and kill Lord Bayon? Which is alright. Feels like it's a little too obvious. I guess that's my problem, is that, like, none of these, like, demon deaths, like, feel, like, super dramatic. It's just sort of like, yeah, let's trick the demon to thinking they're going somewhere else, and then we shoot them with the special gun! Yeah! And to me, that doesn't feel like the most creative way to, like, be, killing super royal demons. Especially compared to, like, all the stuff, mind game stuff with, Sister Crone and Elizabeth back in the Grace Field arc. So, and who knows, maybe it's just because, the guy's running by the seat of his pants, and Emma gets him to take on the same role, even though Lewis, like, sees that, like, that it's just a ploy, so all the other kids can, like, meet up and help Emma take down Lewis, but he's, like, sort of, I like the fact that, like, he's sort of taunting her, and the fact that, like, I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to make a difference. But, if none of your buddies come, then it's just you and me, and I'm going to, like, torment you as much as I can and dance with you, to my amusement. And, he's going to be horrible and cut off fingers and shit and do nasty demon shit. But, I am enjoying the Emma Lewis scenes, although I kind of want to see a little bit more of an action thing. Like, I want to see, like, Lewis come after her and then Emma do something clever, because it definitely feels like she's horribly outmatched. So, come on, Emma, do something cool and clever so I can be like, oh, shit! And Lewis, oh god, Lewis, the hype needs to be, you gotta do something to, like, validate the hype that's being up for you, like, I really want Lewis to, like, be the coolest, most badass thing ever, so, he needs a little bit more than just, like, oh, I'm gonna, like, slash you down with a pole like the other demons. Lewis needs to do something smart and clever, and, I don't know, like, pick a kid up and throw it at another kid. Lewis needs to just be this, like, force of devastation that completely wrecks the children, because it looks like Lord Bayon's gonna, get his comeuppance next chapter. And then, I guess we'll find out what happened to the Noose Numa pair. They successfully slaughtering people. But, just a finger crossed, waiting for some good shit to happen. So, I enjoyed reading this chapter a lot more than I thought I would. Because what happens is, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe just the scanlators aren't as enthused about this arc as they used to be for the Promised Neverland. But, like, usually Promised Neverland would come out with, like, the big chunk of other manga series, Manga Stream and other places. with the Dr. Stones, the One Pieces, the My Heroes, the Shogeki no Somas, all the sort of like big tier things that the American audience was and loves and Scanlators put together. But now, as of late, it's been, like Sunday or Monday, we waited that long to get it. And I don't know, I wonder if, the Scanlators are, like, not as enthused about the series, this arc as well. Because, like, if you look at the, comments, some people are, like, not quite as enthused with the series, and I like this arc, but, I do definitely understand that feeling in the sense that, like, it doesn't feel as clever as it needs to be. The kids' traps don't feel clever, the demons don't feel, like, especially clever opponents, which is disappointing. I'm hoping that, like, half the reason why Lewis is just sitting around is because we're going to get some really big, awesome scene with him. So fingers crossed that we get, like, some cool badass action scene of just Lewis going, freaking hog wild on these little children. But I don't know. I give this a chapter an 8. It was still solid, despite how ridiculous it is that we still don't know Rufio's name, which is just absurd. But yeah, things are strumming along. Hopefully, we'll see the end of Lord Bayon, and then Lewis can get into action. So those are my thoughts on this week's Promised Neverland. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts. Thanks for hanging out. And remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.
Magazine fire!